spent the last 2 months of my life dedicated to a game that has graphics equivalent to Scribble.io.
He said Fortnite. He said Fortnite.
So as any modern day intellectual that has way too much time on his hands and an unending thirst for anthropomorphic characters, we are today devouring the story of Changed. But before I jump into this video, you should subscribe. It's totally free, and as you can see by this PNG that I just made up in MS Paint, 85% of you are not subscribed, while 55% of you are. Let's even those numbers out, and if you changed your mind about subscribing to me, you can't do it, but you can join the Discord where you can leave a lengthy comment about how this video affects some kid in a Vietnamese sweatshop. Now, Changed is a short game. For a game made out of Minecraft pixels, it's quite a hefty size. Metacritic gave it a 7.1 out of 10, which is a positive rating. But some people just weren't having it. For example, some guy 10392435, whose friend apparently became a... I don't think this game is really the reason why, and you should explore your circle of friends. Another person, for example, called Cyber Robotics, calling it a cancer at its purest form, which, I mean... is not wrong. The gameplay is slowly paced, and the AI has the pathfinding of Dora the fucking Explorer.
Let me tell you something!
With controls equivalent to any mobile game before 2019. Like literally fucking any. You can't game end enemies, and because there is a lot of them, your fight or flight response just becomes a fucking airport. The worst offender is the first enemy, which I've spent literally 20 minutes on, like an actual game review from GameStop employee. You know which one I'm talking about. Characters boil down to find funny PNG, run from funny PNG, die to a funny PNG, or escape depending on which part you choose to play.
But in the end, I chose this way. Maybe I'm so lonely, even though I want to erase you. But in the end, I chose this way. Maybe I'm so lonely, just to make some changes to you. I don't think the translation is working correctly here. I'm not sure, but I don't think the translation is working here as intended.
But at the end of the day, the game is still really good. And its story sticks out better than any other Furry game I've seen in quite a while. You start in a lab, not aware of what happened to you, but you know something is off. Looking around your surroundings, you find out you're in some sort of lab with strange voices that sound really off, as if they have been muddied and repurposed. Walking up to the table, you find a note which reads,
Do not touch them if you do not want to be one of them. Avoid them. I don't know the capsule password, but hopefully you'll wake up to read this. Good luck.
I know, peak gamer boy storytelling. Anyways, from here, you can read more notes which are good because they help you stitch together a story. Walking to your left, you can get out to the balcony where you can see an abandoned city, putting us in a situation where we are the only human left, at least here. It's covered in vines and nature has taken over years ago, telling us that this is a disappearance of a gigantic scale. You can also enter 2 rooms, one of which is filled with more PNGs that will want to chase you as if you had the last 2 diamonds in a Minecraft Hunger game.
Iris, it makes a record of your progress, some sort of attendance machine? Is that a save? Oh, it's a save device. Try to stay hopeful. Alright, I'm staying hopeful. Oh my god!
Audio Jungle.
Their world building is amazing for how long the short game is. This game was made by Dragon Snow, who is in English, resulting in some translated sentences that sound like they came straight from a Capcom punchline generator.
How about we wrap this up?
Now, by all means necessary, I understand that I'm not the first nor the last that played the game.
I gotta do it, man.
Since by the views of some other YouTubers, you and even your TikTok dopamine-addicted crack pipe of a grandma probably saw this. So I will ignore the Baldi's basics level of mechanics, rather focusing on the story of Changed and the world it builds. Well, what little is left of it. Now, back on track, my gamers. The door on your right needs a passcode, which is 71421 to save you the trouble. But beware Opening that, let this goofy ass leopard looking motherfucker exit out, which will activate our first chase sequence. The music picks up as it chases you, narrowly avoiding death or dying 10 times to it, taking a break and continuing tomorrow. Both work, don't worry. You can make it to the next section where you see a cat PNG laying on the bed. The exact, sadly, same shit happens, it chases you, you escape, but just this time it introduces a new mechanic. I call it energy, indicated by the icon above the cat. I really didn't see the point in this since it's useful as a starting pistol from Call of Duty 1.
Listen up. Private Martin, you're on the obstacle course and doing weapons training.
I believe this was more to teach you how to read annotations above enemies, because other than that, it's completely fucking pointless. Running into the hallway, the game tells you you're a weak piece of shit with arms built like a Minecraft skeleton and a mental capacity of a Far Cry 3 pirate. But nevertheless, we carry on. Getting ambushed by Sludge, you remember that PNG from a bit ago? Yeah, it's back, but this time we fight back. The mechanic is actually used throughout the game, so well done, Dragon. Here's a pat on the back. The door to your right leads you into an experiment room where you can see some pictures which show a dog interacting with the biological material, turning it into a furry. The room after that is basically a checkpoint where you can save. These rooms aren't common but are good welcome, so please save as much as possible here because the game will tear your ass up, and I actually mean this. Every level I finish here just leaves me with a complete guilt trip. On a good note, I have finally made past through all of this Doom level of sprite enemies, but on a bad note, I have still plenty of them to go around. Every level had a tad bit of uncertainty to it. Yes, I'm always running from this Crow Nitro level of gifts. The mechanics always get switched up in little neat ways to keep this shitpost of a mechanic always new, never letting me, or anybody playing this game for the matter, ever feel at fucking peace. The newest mechanic that is introduced in this part of the game is simply what I like to call the light on and the light off technique, where you can move while the lights are off, or when the lights are on, that everybody's just track meters just suddenly light up. If you make a single step while the lights are on, you are good as dead. Now let's pause the game progress for a bit and talk about all of the voices in my head. They basically say that this game revolves around a virus that has taken over all of the city, because it occurred to me that I have not hit Finance Market, so I cannot buy myself Robux for the I wanna be a racist simulator. So yeah. Also, if my voice is different, I am not sick anymore, so that's why you see me healthy, fine, and white as the fucking snow. Anyways, you're alone in the entire world, and you suddenly have to hunt, kill, survive, and God forbid, read. And no, Discord DMs do not count. Fuck off. Going through inhospitable lands of the lab you woke up in. By the posters and messages, it appears that somebody really needs your help and really wants you. We get to meet that someone right after you beat the game's first boss level. It's not hard, but it implements interesting mechanics. Mechanic to keep the game new. The creature in front of you, after beating it, looks at you with not spitefulness, not any egregious or toned down manner. It just looks at you with pride. It's happy that you made it this far. It sees you as a strong individual, as others have not been as lucky as you are. It just basically applauds you for how far you've come, as if you're not the first. The creature also says that 85% of you are not subscribed. Going through the door to your right, you finally get to meet Puro. I know I skipped some of the levels, but it's basically what I said before. When you meet Puro, yes, it's that funny for a gift that every fanboy and e-girl uses today on Steam. Meeting Puro explains how it currently has a host within itself, basically admitting that it's a parasite, like Rice Gum or most of the YouTube commentary scene in 2016. It explains how far, I can't fucking read my own script, man. Let's stop being around the bush and let's address the elephant in the room. This game has, I believe, 5 endings, and I will only discuss ever one of them. That is the ending betrayed, because if I went into all of these 5 endings, we would be here until GTA 6 releases, and I am not actually kidding, that's how long the fucking game is. In this library, you can ask Puro everything that happened, and like a true champ, he will explain everything. What I find amusing and funny is playing that Google translated voice over the fucking text it says. It tells you that has taken over somebody's body, and that's, from my perspective at least, quite horrific, because you understand that if it happened to you, you're not completely dead. You're still alive, but your brain is reformed in such a way that you don't remember who you are, except you're just a vessel for this, what we call a parasite. It tells us that it can read and write, so if you are bad towards it, it will make it fit longer, probably cancel you. It also says that the entire planet has been better after the humans eradicated. In my perspective, it really puts into question that who was the actual parasite all along. I legit, I don't know why, but I just can't get that fucking fall of me on my head when it's like a guy writing. Anyways, this is where I end the video for now. Thank you for watching. I will plan on creating a series, but you know, this video really took so long to make, and a lot of editing, and a lot of my personal budget was put into it. By budget, I mean time. Anyways,